Hello, hello, it's Kevin here. So, a few days ago, I got a letter from a doctor. We took a look at it and it had some issues. It was a bit short, missing some clear content, etc. So I made a video, and that same person has sent me 2 new letters to take a look at, which we will do here in this current video, as you can see. So what we need to find out is, are these any better? Is there improvement? Well, let's find out and we'll see. Hello, it's Kevin here, back for a video. Again, first things first, fair use, non-profit, blah, 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 blah. The usual kind of tripe. Just get that out of the way, because these case notes, I don't know if they've been copied from E2, I'm not sure. Their copyright, I'm not using it for any kind of purpose, just to talk about this. Now, if you watch the video, the previous video, the 2 letters we're going to have a look at are written by the same author. So the problem with the previous one was it was way too short. There wasn't enough information. It was only about 140 something words. You need about 200, all right? So it was way too short, and there were some other issues there. Missing content, no clear reference to when the events occurred, etc. So I made a video, and the author saw it, sent me another couple of letters. Are they better? We'll take a look. Now, if you listen very carefully, you might hear the tweeting of the birds. I've got a tree outside of my office window here, and it's full of tweety birds. The sun is shining. It's a Saturday morning, early morning. So, hopefully, there's no noise from outside. I've got my office window open because I can't be bothered with closing it. We've got decent temperatures this week. I don't know what it's like where you are, but it's pretty decent weather. Anyway, so what's the first one? Julian McDonald, I think. This is the one. Let's have a look. Is it this one? Let's have a look. Yeah. Now, interesting one. Okay, so let's just have a look at as always, we go to a task first, all right? So we're writing a transfer to this rehabilitation center treatment. He had a total knee replacement, I think. And we're writing a transfer letter to the rehabilitation unit for Mr. McDonald to be transferred there. Okay, so 68, had his knee done. So from my acute care to rehabilitation centre. So some 68-year-old guy, he's had osteoarthritis, so there's had some issues there. That's his meds, allergies. Now, the interesting stuff which we'll be talking about, not ideal home situation, as we'll see. So we can't send him home because he lives in a caravan with chickens, with no facilities, outdoor kind of shower, and he's got a barbecue, so it's not ideal for rehabilitation purposes. So that's why he's going to the centre. And there's obviously other stuff about the kind of pain and blah, 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 blah. All right. So let's take a look at this letter. Now, this is better in terms of word count, right? So the previous one was way too short. This one's 242. Actually, that's a little bit long, 242. But we'll see why. Because there's some irrelevant stuff, and there's some over-egging of the detail that I don't need, that I, as the reader, do not require. So, should be put your purpose first. I put that first. Put your purpose first. So it's a transfer. Yeah. So use the correct verb. I'm writing to transfer Mr. Julian McDonald, aged 60, is it 69, 68, whatever, a 69. Now, he had a successful left total knee joint replacement. So, right, we don't need a diagnosis there, we just need what's the chief issue, what's the presenting complaint. There's no presenting complaint really, it's just a transfer. So, transfer Mr. McDonald, 69, following a successful left total knee joint operation. So, following a successful left knee total knee joint operation. So it's not a discharge. Well, it's kind of a discharge, but it says it's a transfer. So you're not because usually, right? If it's a discharge, you are kicking him out of the hospital. Okay, but usually he will be going kind of home or whatever. But here he's not. He's going to rehabilitation centre because his own home, the caravan, is not ideal for purpose. So get that purpose a little clearer. Okay, so I might do transfer Mr. McDonald for successful information. And what's he require? He needs what does it say? What does he require except for immediate treatment? I don't know what the immediate treatment is. Specialist, physiotherapy. Okay, for immediate treatment. Requires immediate. Shall we say rehabilitative? Rehabilitative, is that how you spell it? Okay, so we can do that, right? That looks good. Succinct to the point. Now, the thing with this letter here is the information is not grouped accordingly. It's all over. It's you know, it's jumping about. So if you read the OET official writing guide, OET Ultimate Writing Guide, which you can download on OET.com, it talks about grouping like information. So one theme, a paragraph. It's a purpose, it's a history, it's a visit, it's a discharge plan, or whatever. And you need to group information. These are the symptoms, these are his meds, this is what happened, etc. Not jumping up and down all over the place. So, so probably present perfect, has had osteoarthritis for 10 years. Now, during this time, his left knee joint was replaced successfully. Well, it wasn't during that 10 years period. It was on the 16th of the 6th. And then you're talking about what approach was like used and the sort of drains. I don't need this. I don't need it, do I? Right? Because I'm admissions. I'm the admissions officer. So that detail means nothing to me. Right? What I want to kind of know is, why do you want me to take this guy into my centre? Because his own home situation is not ideal and he needs some physio and some rehab, some social work, etc. So that means I don't need this. So let me get rid of that. Don't need this. Don't need that. And I don't really need the post-op. I mean, I don't really need any of this really. You know, so lives alone in a caravan park. Alcohol use, well, don't we all? Then you've got his BMI. He's got history of the cat. So, right. So you see, right. This information, it's mixed up, right? You need to group your like information. So if it's a history, right? Let's rearrange this. So it's osteoarthritis. There's. So this is the medical history stuff, right? So osteoarthritis 10 years, history of gout, hypertension, post-traumatic stress disorder. So we can group that. I'm not going to rewrite the whole thing. I'm just going to give you some indications. So all that needs to go together. Then you've got, there's those in the caravan park, and he's a bit fond of the old sauce. Oh, okay. His sutures should be removed. What's that? Because it's passive. On post-operative day 10. Oh, let me put them changes back on. If you can see them. Specialist follow-up. The appointment was made. So, right. So I'm the admissions officer. So all I need to sort of know is he had a successful operation. Okay. He might not be able to go home because it's not ideal. So I need to know why it's not ideal. And I need to know what you want me to actually do. You want me to give him some physiotherapy, maybe some issues with the snoring. Though I believe snore, so what? His sleep, snoring, the alcoholism. So there's a few things there, all right? But the way this is arranged now, it's not very clear, right? So you've got osteoarthritis, histories of this, his BMI, the caravan park, alcohol abuse. Okay, had some mild agitation. We suspected he had alcohol withdrawal during this period. Well, yeah, if he's an alky and he didn't give him any booze properly, could use a drink. Counselling of alcohol guidance for him. He's sleeping on his medications. Okay, right. So, as I say, I'm not going to rewrite the whole thing, but as you can see, you can certainly make it a little more concise, right? And think who you're writing to. You're writing to the admin officer, like I say. So you don't need to tell me all that stuff about what the surgery was and how he felt afterwards. So all I need to sort of know is what's the treatment plan? What do you want me to do? So he's had his operation. You want me to give him some rehab, some kind of physio, try and help him with the booze and the fags, and send somebody to take a look at his caravan to see if he can go back, and that's basically it. So that's what you need to include in that one, okay? So you don't mention that. You just say he lives in a caravan, but some of the caravans are pretty nice, you know, but apparently this particular caravan is not so good. So you would probably need to mention that. Yeah? So I would appreciate your assessment. So I would maybe mention something about sending somebody to take a look at his caravan because it's not ideal. And don't forget, you need to group like information, not have it jumping up and down, right? All the symptoms, all the meds, you know, what's the plan for the future, what's the post-op stuff. It's got to be grouped accordingly. Okay, but certainly an improvement on the previous one. Now this one's about 180-ish, I think. Let's have a look. What count? 184, so that's good. Okay, now let's have a look at the case notes for this. See what we can see here. So who are we writing to? So, right, we want definitive diagnosis. So it's a provisional diagnosis. You're not sure of what, is it she? Of what she's actually got, right? So you want, so it's referral. You want me to investigate and give you a definitive, as in, this is what it is, diagnosis. Like it says, inference, suggestive. So that's what you think it is, but you want an accurate diagnosis. Okay, seems pretty straightforward. So let's have a look. So, right, I mean, we don't need, you know, this like stuff, do we really? So do we actually need any of this really? I mean, apparently she fell down the stairs. Yeah. So she fell, so we don't need any of this, actually, do we? So she fell down the stairs, had some pain, she couldn't sleep, took some pills, they don't work. So because of that, you think she's got an intracranial hematoma. Okay, that's pretty straightforward. So let's have a look. Had a trauma assessment for the management. Well, what you want is a definitive diagnosis. So you can say that. You can say, I am waiting to request your definitive diagnosis. And what else? It say definitive diagnosis and further further management. Oops. How do you spell that? Further management of Mrs. Mary Raylan, age 46. Because we can tell that she's a woman, you know, you'd have to. Age 46. Who has a suspected, right, 6-year-old, so we need to change this or around. Right, I'd like to request your definitive diagnosis of mentioned. So Mrs. Mary Raylon, age 46, who is suspected of having intracranial hematoma following head trauma. Okay. Okay. And you can put the thing about the CT scan, because you've got to restate your purpose at the bottom, right? So CT scan, we will arrange a CT scan to confirm. Well, hang on, we will arrange it, but why are you writing to me? Because you want me to confirm it. So why are you going to confirm it, but you want me to confirm it? How does that make sense? That doesn't make any sense. So presumably you want me to do the CT scan, yeah? Because if you do a CT scan, then why do you need me? So that doesn't quite work, I don't think. So, right, as I mentioned in the previous one, we need a date. When did this happen? When did she present? When did she have the injury? Presented with a head injury after downstairs. Join your sentences. Downstairs. What do we have here? Oh, right. 12th of June. So she presented. So, right, again, this is what I keep on saying about using correct case notes. So, right, so I don't know. So, did she injure her head on the 12th? And then she had pain after 2 days. So she was unable to sleep for a week. So, when did she come to see me? when did she come? So did she come to see me on the 12th? But she had the pain for 2 days, so she had the injury on the 10th. Then she came to see me on the 12th because she was still in pain. You see what I mean? This is why using dodgy case notes is a bad idea, because it's confusing. And when you get the real ones in the test, it's not going to work, is it? After falling downstairs, 2 days, I'll have to put previously because I have no idea when this actually occurred. So just for the sake of this, I'll just put that. Started falling downstairs. Right, so presented with a head injury, falling downstairs 2 days previously. Then she complained of pain, dizziness and queasiness, large bump on the head, symptoms of inhalation, a tourniquet, sleeping pills. I think it must be sleeping, not slipping. Pills were prescribed. The symptoms were not. Her symptoms had not improved. You can say that. That's better than using that. Were not. Had not improved. In addition, she complained of persistent worsening headaches, imbalance vomiting. We will arrange. Well, we will not. I will, because that's why you're writing to me. And then, what is that for? Irrelevant. All I need to know is her age. All that previous stuff, not important, right? She fell down, she banged her head, symptoms, blah, 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 blah. You think it's intracranial hematoma. You want me to do a CT to confirm this. And that's it. Okay? So we will not arrange a CT. I will. Due to the above, I would appreciate code arranged for a CT scan to confirm the diagnosis and provide your first assessment. Blah, 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 blah. Please don't hesitate to contact me if you require more information. Okay, so there you go. So better than the previous one, yeah. But still, we need to make sure we use the proper notes, because as you've seen with that one there, it's a bit confusing. So again, as I mentioned before, audience and purpose. So this one here, you're writing to the admissions officer in the rehabilitation unit. So I'm not interested in what the specific surgery was, or who the surgeon was, or how many pints of blood was used, or whatever. That's not of interest or of any use to me, as I said. So just keep that in mind. And okay, yeah, I think that'll do. That'll do. And like I say, there's some irrelevant stuff here. So get your Ultimate Writing Guide from OET.com. Have a good read. I recommend it. It explains how it all kind of works. Grouping like information, having a clear purpose, restate the purpose at the end. How to choose your information, how to join your sentences, etc. Right. I hope that helps. And if you're watching on YouTube, links below, etc. And I'll see you next time. And don't forget, if you still hear these birds tweeting, tweet. Time for me to get off, get outside. I've got things to do. So I'll see you next time. Bye for now. So overall, we can see there has definitely been some major improvements made here. In fact, what he's kind of done, he's gone the opposite way to the first one. So the first one was way too short, and it was omitting of content, as we can see here in these two. A little bit too much content. you know, so that would affect the conciseness and clarity score. But certainly these are much improved. So I hope that gives you some ideas of how it kind of works, what to do, etc. If you want me to make a video and analyze your writing for OET, take a look in the links below. You can join my group on Telegram. I also have an IELTS group as well if you're taking that instead of OET. So you can message me there, message me directly here, message me on iTalki, message me on whatever. I'm all over the place. Don't forget, check out my podcast as well. So anyway, all links below, and maybe your letter could be in the next video. So I hope that helps. See you for the next time.